Crypto Twitter is awash with the rumor of SEC Chairman Gary Gensler resigning from the regulatory agency. Pro-XRP attorney John Deaton commented on the rumors, saying a Gensler resignation since late 2020, the SEC EVs. Ripple litigation has been ongoing. Now that we're in the third quarter of 2023, the globe is becoming impatient to hear the court's decision on this protracted dispute. Most people expect a favorable verdict in favor of XRP before the end of this quarter. The issue on everyone's mind right now is when the Ripple and XRP litigation will be resolved. A brief conversation about this occurred on Twitter among members of the online crypto community. Let's take a look at the many reasons why the XRP litigation has taken so long. According to this tweet, the reactions have definitely been about both parties of the litigation gaining time. According to one comment, the case generated a lot of attention, but if it takes a long time, people will lose interest. According to their remark, they predict that the value of XRP will ultimately skyrocket since it provides a valuable use case. As a result, investors of XRP, in their perspective, will acquire exponential riches over time. As a result, the SEC is attempting to lengthen the term of the litigation in order to dissuade interest, resulting in a smaller pool of persons profiting. Meanwhile, another respondent argues that the XRP litigation is taking so long because the court expects both parties to settle rather than go to war. At the same time, the same answer claims that Ripple is postponing the litigation in order to bring on additional on-demand liquid partners. Furthermore, according to another statement, the XRP case will not be resolved for another year. However, they failed to explain why they hold this opinion. Instead, another statement suggests that the XRP case might be extended for another year. According to this explanation, any and all delays are most likely attributable to the extremely sluggish speed of the American judicial system. On July 11, John Deaton disclosed some details about how much Judge Annalisa Torres charges for judgment on court matters. The XRP community is awaiting Judge Torres' verdict after Ripple and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission submitted reply papers in December. While it has been 7 months, Ripple is not Judge Torres' sole case. He said that the Thor Equities case's reply papers were also submitted in December, and that Judge Torres has yet to decide. He did, however, explain that Judge Torres delayed 7 months to announce her ruling in Quiller, Inc. versus Hughes, and 6 months in Fitzgerald case and numerous other instances. Deaton feels she has a good chance of ruling this month since she has taken her time. Ripple key to David Schwartz responded to Deaton, stating that he anticipates a summary judgment verdict would be issued before the end of September. The cryptocurrency world, and notably XRP backers, is in an uproar over a commentary written by Charles Gasparino for the New York Post. Gasparino questioned the judgment made by Judge Annalisa Torres on XRP and the firm that uses the currency, Ripple Labs, in his article. The decision in the Securities and Exchange Commission's SEC case against Ripple is at the heart of the debate. According to the SEC, XRP is a security that must be regulated by the agency. However, Ripple maintains that XRP should be seen and used as a currency and not as securities. Contrary to the SEC's accusations, Judge Torres ruled that XRP is not a security and the matter is now closed. Many people now see Bitcoin regulation as something that falls beyond the scope of the SEC. CryptoLaw's founder and attorney, John Deaton, rushed to Twitter to express his approval with Judge Torres' ruling and to talk out his own legal fights with the SEC over the agency's treatment of cryptocurrencies in general and XRP in particular. Deaton blasted the case's atmosphere of tribalism and echo chamber politics, and he blasted the SEC for its asymmetrical approach to various cryptocurrencies. Deaton claims that the SEC's approach to cryptocurrency regulation has been inconsistent, citing the fact that Ethereum, another major cryptocurrency, has been granted a regulatory free pass in the past, while XRP has been subjected to intensive scrutiny. Despite objections alleging the judgment defies the policy reasons underlying the 1934 Securities Act, Deaton praised Judge Torres' finding, saying that she made the proper conclusion. He speaks highly of the judge's background and experience, claiming that the SEC would need more than luck to reverse her ruling on appeal. Meanwhile, attorney and Metal Almond founder James A. Murphy tweeted in response to Gasparino's post, calling out the writer for making baseless accusations against Judge Torres. He supported Judge Torres' decision and said that Gasparino had overlooked an important difference between stocks and cryptocurrency tokens. Many people who engage in the cryptocurrency market hope to one day amass a fortune. The difference between XRP and Bitcoin is enormous when considering the number of tokens one would need to become a billionaire. Investors who want to become millionaires with XRP should know that doing so requires a substantial outlay of capital. However, because to XRP's lower pricing in comparison to Bitcoin, investors may buy a larger quantity of tokens with a smaller investment. Bitcoin now has a greater value than XRP. With this in mind, would-be multi-millionaires who want to invest in XRP may amass a sizable amount of tokens, making millionaire status a more feasible goal. However, it might take a greater initial investment in Bitcoin to get the same result. However, there are dangers associated with this investment, as there are with any. Cryptocurrency markets are notorious for their volatility and frequent price swings. Before putting their money into any digital asset, investors should proceed with care and do extensive study. The investor's risk tolerance and investing objectives are other important considerations. The best route to financial security for one investor may not work for another. Successfully managing the Bitcoin market also involves thinking about the long term and diversifying one's financial portfolio. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, just issued a public statement stating that Judge Annalisa Torres erred in her judgment in favor of Ripple and XRP last week, signaling its intention to appeal the verdict. Judge Torres determined last week that about half of Ripple's XRP sales over the years are not investment contracts. According to the SEC's recent allegation, the ruling has given other defendants battling in similar cases hope. As previously reported by Times Tabloid, the legal team defending Terraform Labs and Do Kwon, the creator of the collapsed Terra blockchain, referenced Ripple and XRP's recent success against the SEC to bolster their effort to dismiss the regulatory agency's case over Terra's collapse. As previously stated in a tweet, James Key Phelan, a defense lawyer and former federal prosecutor, SEC is presently exploring a review of the historic XRP triumph. Do Kwon, the imprisoned Terraform Labs co-founder, is one of the defendants seeking to use Torres' ruling to circumvent the securities regulator. In a lawsuit filed in Manhattan federal court in February, the SEC accused Kwon with fraud and other legal offenses. The SEC said in its statement that the judge in Kwon's case should not consider the Ripple case as precedent. Torres' ruling, according to the agency, adds unfounded requirements to determining whether an asset is a security, which would lead to an appeal of the verdict. According to the SEC legal staff, the conclusion was impossible to reconcile with all of these core securities law principles. When discussing the SEC's prospective court appeal over XRP's classification as a non-security, one of the XRP community's most ardent legal defenders, John Deaton, did not mince words. According to Deaton, the SEC will lose on appeal if they appeal it. The possibility of the SEC taking the case to the U.S. Court of Appeals was raised today as the securities regulator filed a brief detailing the recently finished Ripple versus SEC case. The SEC said in the paper that it is considering the various available avenues for further review and intends to recommend that the SEC seek such review. The aforementioned document is connected to the current SEC litigation against the defunct Terraform Labs, which includes its controversial founder, Do Kwon.